We're here with Grandmaster Igor Khenkin from Russia or Germany. Which do you prefer?
I was born in Russia, but 15 years ago I immigrated to Germany, and I have now double citizenship, what is allowed. I have two passports, Russian and German, but I play since many years for Germany. I'm on the list of FIDE for German Chess Federation since maybe 2000. And since 2008 I play for the German national team.
Right, excellent. And you're doing a bit of a chess tour of Australia. You've been to Sydney so far, and Melbourne, and you're going to the Gold Coast?
Yes, probably. I'm just waiting for some confirmation for a good friend of mine, very nice organizer in Sampler. He's trying to organize some simuls with me on Monday or Tuesday, or maybe both days. And on the week, just on the day of Australian Youth Championship.
Excellent. And so you played the Australian Open. Can you give us your impressions about Australian chess? Were you surprised? How did you feel about the scene?
Yeah, I was very surprised. First of all, I noticed from the beginning that players, they're not adjusted with their ratings. The real power is much stronger than their ratings. So I had enormous difficulties already in the second round with the black. I won, but I played just against 2100 player, maybe 2050, and he was fighting. I mean, he was not resigning. So I noticed that here people never resign. True. Yes. True. Just in Europe, if somebody blundered a tactical shot or pulled down or 2 points down, they just they lost. I mean, they lose in motivation and they just resign. Here, people fight until the very end.
Right. And what about the style? Is it more theoretical, less theoretical than you expected?
Well, I did not have much games to prepare because, you know, my database, so Australian tournaments, they're not coming into the well-known chess base. So I was playing like in the darkness. Yep. Mostly. Okay, I knew some games of players, but the real opening repertoire I could only guess.
Right.
Yes. And but the style is, they know chess theory, and they're very smart and playing on tactic. They have some strategical problems or chess understanding problems, but they're very tricky and very smart. So they try to trick you all the time till the very end.
Right. So you mentioned that you were working a little bit with Grandmaster Zong-Yuan Zhao.
Yes.
To help him a little bit with his strategic or positional understanding.
Yes.
Tell us about what you think his level was and how you helped him and how far you think he can go.
Oh, well, if he will come back to chess, because as far as I know, he just left chess. I mean, he's happy with his wife, and he studies in the medical college or something like this, and he will be the future doctor. And he's coming from the doctor's family. His father is well-known Chinese doctor here in Australia. And he was nearly 2600 player. He played against Carlsen 5 years ago in the World Cup in Khanty-Mansiysk, and he also played against Tomaszewski. He lost both of matches, but he was struggling. And I mean, tactically, he's very strong. He plays. His rating is also underestimated. I think he plays. His current rating is about 25-30, but his real power is on the level 26 or nearly 26. And if he will improve his realization of chess, just positional advantage or strategical advantage or pull-up, he showed me a couple of games, and he always has these problems. Just tactically, he's very strong. Right. He's really very strong. He has a feeling of pieces. I mean, he's a real strong grandmaster. From my point of view.
I'm not sure if you saw his game against Luke Lee. He was playing black and he played a note boom variation. And it was crazy.
Yes, but this is his style.
Right.
This is his style.
Yes.
He feels like the fish in the water in the games.
Right. So I think it must be hard to play like that for your entire life, though. I mean, such complicated positions. I mean, as you've developed, have you become more strategic, more positional, less tactical?
Yeah, okay. Actually, I was indeed in my childhood when my father brought me to Dvoretsky. He indicated me. I was counted like well-known positional player. But Dvoretsky told me, "You're not a positional player." He gave me some positions, and I could not solve them. But then he was giving me some tactical position. He said that you're a tactical player. I don't know how strong you are tactically, but you're more tactical than positional. That's what Dvoretsky said.
Right.
Yes. But then I became, of course, universal. But you know, when you're getting older, then your tactical abilities are getting a bit down. So I mean, I see all the lines, maybe not so quickly as before. Like when I was 10, I was called to the famous Petrosian School, and it was in '78. So I was born in Vladimir, and he just, I don't know how he found him. Maybe my father wrote him a letter, and he called me to his famous Petrosian School. And he was, I remember every word he was telling us, because I was in a couple of schools like this. Then I was in Smyslov Schools, but Smyslov was not studying with his pupils. He was just present in there. But Petrosian, he was really, he was giving lessons.
Wow.
And yes, and until his very last year, maybe, unfortunately, he passed away in 1983. But I was in this school from '78 until '82, 4 years. And I was the youngest one the first year, and then Gelfand came, and he is 3 months younger than me. And then he became the youngest.
Yes. Wow. So it must have given you a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of passion to play in that sort of environment.
Yes, and Petrosian said many times, repeatedly confirmed, saying us that he's not so good tactician, he said. He does not see like Michael Tal in 1 second or in 5 seconds any tactical shot, but he still see it. That's what he told us. He needs some more seconds, but he does not miss his tactical. And of course he was world champion.
Right. So everyone seems to be fascinated with Dvoretsky. Tell us what you learnt through him and what sort of training you did, and if you have any advice for Australian players looking to get to Grandmaster level.
Yes, I was working with him, I think, for a couple of years. We worked like once a week, the full day. My father paid to him, I don't know how much, but he was really a very expensive trainer, the most expensive those days. And yeah, well, he was giving me some homework, and which I have to fulfill, what I did. And his method of working is that he indicates your weaknesses, and he tries to improve. If you are weak tactically, he works on tactic. If you are weak in strategical thinking, he improves on this. He has many like prophylactical thinking or a lot of things. The only thing he doesn't work on is openings. He doesn't know. Okay, he plays something, but he doesn't know well openings, and he was never working with his pupils on openings.
Right.
But I think, yeah, he gave me a lot.
Yeah.
Just I could not afford working with him longer because he was simply too expensive for my family. My father couldn't pay him.
Right.
Otherwise, I would of course continue working with him.
Okay. A lot of Australian players we don't have access to coaches of that level, and players like Bobby Cheng or James Morris or Wilton Lai, they might find it difficult to find someone really much stronger than them in Australia. So how can they study by themselves? Is it impossible for them to reach the same level without that sort of coaching?
It's possible, but it will be more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw Bobby Cheng. He's 15 years of age. I don't know if he's going to become the chess professional. I doubt about it, but okay, he was a world champion under 12, so this means something. If you became world champion in your age group, This is really, if you beat all these Russians or Ukrainians, then you, I mean, you're someone. I mean, yes, but yeah, I don't know with whom he's working on, how. I think he's just reading books of Avro. Yes, I mean, tactically he's very strong, but strategically against me he didn't play well. Just I was in during this day I was very tired, did not sleep much, because you know it was the process of voting for the best player of Germany 2012, and like two days left, and I was fighting for my votes. I was informing many friends. I was not sleeping until 4 o'clock in the morning every day, and then I had to wake up at 9:30 for my breakfast. No, I slept just five and a half hours every day. And in this event, you know, during this game I felt so bad. I mean, just very tight. But I didn't want to continue. I offered him a draw, and I was surprised, but he was thinking that he refused. Yes. Wow. He has a big fight in Spain, but then he refused, and he played many bad moves. And just when he was much worse, I didn't find the correct way to fix my advantage. Okay. Yes. And then I played some rubbish. I made the position much sharper, and then he used it because I mean, tactically he's very strong. He tricked me. He played b5, and then if I take on f3, he could play bishop d1. Yeah. What I missed. Yeah. Yes.
If you come back to Australia, would you play in a different style now that you have some more experience, I guess, with Australian players?
Yes. Well, no, I think I would play with the same. I will just play more dry. I mean, I will just simplify matters, simplify positions, and I think my strategical understanding is much stronger than of anyone, even of Joao. So I will just, yeah, I will play in a different style. Yes.
Okay, so you made your big jump around the year 2000. You've been in the top 100 players since the year 2000. Is there something that changed around that time? Did you make a big jump strategically, positionally, mentally?
Oh, well, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I just, I became wise enough just, yeah, to use my strong sides and not to show my weak sides. You know, when you are turning 30, you are becoming more more experienced guy. And yes, and then yes, I was just using this. I was not playing worse than people like Drave or in my childhood. I was always competing with them. Yeah. I had a good score against Drave, against Shirov, against Apokan. I had fantastic score in my childhood. Yeah. Just I was a little bit lazy. I started to work a bit more, and yeah, and you know I immigrated to Germany, and there in Europe it's easier than in Russia, because near I live just in Wiesbaden. This is 20 minutes from the Frankfurt airport, just in the middle, in the very middle of Europe. For me, just 2 hours drive with the car to Luxembourg, 3 hours to Brussels, 4 hours to Amsterdam, like 3 hours to Basel, so I can play in every country, different tournaments. I have a lot of possibilities.
Great. And what about coming back to Australia? Do you think that you would come back?
I hope so. If I will be invited, I will come with a great pleasure. I like the country. Yeah, Sydney I did not see much because I had to play the tournaments. I was just in the city once, near the Opera House. I was on the ocean twice. Yes, but Melbourne I like even more, honestly saying.
Right, that's good. You'll make a lot of Melburnians very happy with that comment. Yeah. Okay, so last question, I guess. So Australia really have a new generation of chess players coming through. A lot of young FMs, a lot of young IMs. Do you have any final advice? What was the most important thing for you to go from a strong international master to the top?
You should have the real chess positional understanding. If you don't understand the position on tactics, you can come only to the certain level until 2500. But you will never jump over this point. Okay, you can jump or you can even become a grandmaster, but you will be always a weak grandmaster. Without understanding what is going on the board, which are the plans of the sides, then it's impossible.
Okay,
it's
great.
impossible to grow up. I think so.
Excellent. All right, thanks very much for your time, and thank you on behalf of Australian Chess, and I'm sure you'll be invited back.
Thank you. Thank you for your invitation.
Thanks, Igor.